Brush for Bucks is First Lite's on-the-ground habitat restoration program.
You can look at their summer range, their transition range, for the most part is intact. But once you get down into southern Idaho, where we've had those big fires, now we have annual invasives, noxious weeds coming in. So we realize that habitat, if we don't have the habitat, we don't have the animals, right?
And so you get this cycle of fire and invasion that doesn't allow the native shrub communities to come back. And those shrub communities are really what deer, elk, pronghorn, what have you, are eating.
When we have a 100,000 acre fire, there isn't money that we can reestablish seedlings throughout this whole 100,000 acre fire. But with, specifically First Lite, they are bringing money to the table, they're bringing individuals to the table, and we want to do these projects.
Brush for Bucks really consists of first gathering seed in the summertime from sagebrush and bitterbrush. That seed then goes to a nursery to be cleaned and ultimately planted. And then we buy a couple thousand of them in the spring and in the fall and get our employees out to plant those seedlings.
Full circle, here we go from seed to seedling. And what we're gonna do, and if you can, like I said, when we plant these, try to take a few steps and plant the next one, but if you can find like a little microsite, like a little depression, that's just gonna hold a little bit more water this spring and hopefully give them a pretty good jump start.
We're out planting some sagebrush and bitterbrush. The bitterbrush is great winter habitat for these mule deer.
So hopefully we can build these little islands of seedlings and shrubs. Those little islands are going to mature and expand, and now that landscape hopefully is back to its original state and providing a winter habitat for those ungulates.
They take the seeds, they clean the seeds, they plant the seeds, they put the seeds back in the ground. The big bucks chop it to stay through the winter, and then he kills them the next year. Or all of us.
If we have great winter range, these things are going to disperse out into multiple hunt units where hunters have access to hunt them in the fall.
Because they got to eat big to get big.
On-the-ground conservation projects are valuable, A, because they certainly produce tangible results, but B, they allow people to get more personally involved in conservation.
Buck hunting is like my favorite type of hunting, so I would like it to continue, and this is us helping out.
And they feel some ownership of going out there, grabbing a dibble bar, grabbing a bag, and grabbing some seedlings and going putting them back on the landscape. Get your soft office hands dirty, the way Ford likes to say it.
It's true. It's very true.
And then coming back in 20 years and potentially showing their kids or grandkids and saying, hey, I did this. The deer and elk are still here because we had this terrible fire come through and we needed to put the landscape back to where it was, and by volunteering and putting these seedlings back into the dirt, we still have these animals available for future generations.
We're growing big bucks one seed at a time here, okay?
And with them coming to the table, bringing money and manpower and putting seedlings back on the landscape is a win-win for all of us.
Growing up hunting, fishing, and doing everything else, it feels like a way to perpetuate that lifestyle.